First of all, I would like to thank you all for your support and love. Because of you, it got possible to achieve milestone of 300k plus subscribers and 40 million plus views. In this tutorial, we will learn to solve these exercises in AutoCAD 2020. For this video, chapters are also provided in the description, using which you can jump from one exercise to other exercise very easily, and you can also come back and start from where you left. During solving these exercises, you will learn to create 2D drawings step by step from scratch in AutoCAD 2020. In this, you will also learn to apply layers and dimensions. By watching this video, you will get confidence to create any complicated engineering drawing very easily. And if you want to learn AutoCAD 2020 from very basic level and with theory lectures, then you can follow this playlist. Link to this playlist is given in description. Using this playlist, you can learn AutoCAD like in Training Institute. First, you have to watch theory lectures, then you will have to solve exercises based on those lectures. In this way, you can learn complete AutoCAD step by step from scratch. If you want to receive notification for more such videos, then please subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon. And don't forget to like and share this video. Let's start with this drawing. Now these drawings are in millimeter. Therefore, we will be using AutoCAD ISO as a template. Click here and select AutoCAD ISO. At first, we will check the unit. For unit, give UN, enter. Now here decimal is correct. We want decimal. Precision is correct. Then angle is okay. Then we want insertion scale set to millimeter. So all the default settings are suitable for our drawing. Click on OK. We will start this drawing from this point. At first we will create this line of 100, 50, 80 and 50. Click on line, then give the first point, take your cursor away. If your line is not coming straight, then you will have to make this polar tracking on. Then your line will come straight automatically. Then give the length of 100, enter. Then take your cursor above, give the length of 50, enter. Now the object is very small, we will have to zoom it. For zooming, take your cursor to the object and rotate your middle mouse button or mouse wheel towards monitor. Then it will zoom plus. Just pan it by pressing the middle mouse button and dragging the mouse below. Then take it ahead and give the length of 80, enter. Again take it below, give the length of 50, enter. Then next is 150, 100 and 150. Then again take it ahead, give the length of 150, enter, take it above, give the length of 100, enter, then again 150, enter. Just zoom minus. For that, rotate middle mouse button towards you and pan it. Then this vertical length is not given, but we know this is 100 and this total length is 250. That means this length will be this 250 minus this 100, that is 150, and again this length is 150 and this is 50. Take it above, give the length of 150, enter. Now I want to create this line of the same length up to this point. So take your cursor to this point, don't click there, just hold it for some time and take it away. So it will track that point and you just have to click. So it will automatically catch the length up to that point. Then click, take it below, give the length of 50, enter. Then again we want this length up to this point. So take your cursor to this point and take it above and click. Again take it above. Ensure that it is straight, give the length of 50, enter. Then again up to this point and we will have to close this shape. Again track this point and click on close. So it will complete the line command and our external shape is ready. Then next is this circle of 60 diameter. Now it is at the center of this square of 150 by 150 size. Click here and select center diameter. Then take your cursor to this midpoint. Don't click there. Then take your cursor to this midpoint. Again, don't click there and take your cursor in the center. So it will track those 2 points and it will locate the center of this square. Click there. Then give the diameter of 60, enter. Then next is circle of radius 40 at the distance of 80 from this horizontal line and at the distance of 115 from this vertical line. Now this total length is 150 plus 80, that is 230. That means this 115 is half of this 230. So what we will do, we'll just track this midpoint and give the length of 80. Then click here and select center radius. Then track this point and give the length of 80. Enter and give radius of 40. Enter. So this shape is ready. We will start dimensioning this drawing. At first we will give these dimensions. Click on dimension. Then take your cursor over the line and click. And take your cursor below and click. Then to give continue dimension, click on continue. Then specify first extension line origin. Click on this side. Then specify second extension line origin. Click on these points, this point and this point. Then press escape. Press escape to cancel the dimension command. Now these dimensions are not properly visible. To increase the size, click on annotation. Click on dimension style. Click on modify. Click on fit. And from here you can increase the scale. Suppose I will make it 4. OK, close. Now these dimensions are properly visible. Then next we will give these vertical dimensions. Click on dimension. Click on this line. Take your cursor outside and click. Then click on this line. Click. Click on this line. Click. Then click on this line and click. Then next is to give these circle dimensions. We will have to give location dimensions, then radius and diameter. Take your cursor on this end point, click there, then take your cursor on this center point, click, then take your cursor above on the left side, then it will convert it into horizontal dimension. And if you want to force it to be horizontal, then for that make ortho on. Then dimension will come horizontal automatically. Click. Then click on this node. Click on this midpoint. Take your cursor on the right side and click. Then click on this circle. Now here this is radius. To convert this diameter into radius, click on radius and click. Then click on this center point. Click on this midpoint. Take your cursor on this side and click. Then again take your cursor on this node. Then click on this midpoint. Take your cursor below and click. Then take your cursor on this circle and click. Now we want to give diameter dimension here. For that, click on diameter and click and press escape. So all the dimensions has been given. Then to start new drawing, click on this plus sign. So it will start the drawing automatically with ISO template. So whatever template you have selected for the first drawing, that will be applied automatically to second drawing. And if we check the units are same. So we want it like that only. So we will click on OK. Then next is this drawing. Now we will start this drawing from this point. We'll create this line of 75 length. Then this line at angle of 45 and length is 135. Click on line, give the first point, take your cursor away, give length of 75, enter, then zoom there, then take it above, then give the length of 135. Then to specify the angle, you will have to press tab once. Press tab, then give the angle of 45 and enter. Then again on this side, the length is 135 and this angle we want 45. Take it below, then give the length of 135, tab. Now we will need angle from this horizontal line. So we know this angle is 45, that means the angle from this horizontal line will also be 45. So give the angle of 45, enter, take your cursor ahead, give the length of 75, enter, take it above, give the length of 75, enter. Then again on this side, length is 135, press tab. Now the angle with this vertical line will be 45 and we need to define this total angle. That means this angle will be this 90 plus this 45, that is 135. So we need to define this complete angle. So angle will be 135, enter. And again give the length of 135, tab. Now this angle is 45, enter. The zoom minus, pan it below, take it above, give the length of 75, enter, 75, enter. Again on this side, give the length of 135, then tab. Now we need to specify this total angle. As we know this angle is 45, that means this angle will be 180 minus 45, that is 135. So give here angle of 135, enter. Then again take your cursor above, give length of 135, tab. This angle will be again 135. Give 135, enter. Give 75, 75. Now we can also use object snap tracking. We want this line in line with this line. So just take your cursor to this point and take it above. Now it is not extending this tracking line. For that you will have to make extension object snap on. For that click here and click on extension so that it will extend that tracking line. Again take your cursor to this point and take it above. So it is showing the tracking line. Give the length of 135, enter. You can also use the parallel object snap because we want this line parallel to this line. So what we have to do, just press shift, right click and select parallel object snap. Then take your cursor to this line because we want line parallel to this line and take it away. So now it is tracking parallel to that previous line. Give the length of 135, enter and click on this endpoint and enter. Then next is to create these two circles. One is of 80 diameter and other is of 60 radius. Click here, click on center radius. Then to locate the center point, take your cursor to this point, then take your cursor to this point and take your cursor at the center. Now actually it is tracking the extension point. To cancel this tracking point, just zoom it. So it will cancel the tracking point. Again take your cursor here Then take your cursor here and take your cursor to the center and give the radius of 60. Enter. Then click here, click on center diameter, then take the center point, give the diameter of 80. Enter. So this object is also ready. Then next is this object. Again click on this plus to start new drawing. Now units are same, so we will not check that. At first we will create these two lines of 225 and other line of 300 at the angle of 150. Click on line, give the first point, give the direction, give the length of 225, enter. Then zoom it. Click on this side, give the length of 300. Then for angle press tab. Now we know that this angle is 150, but we have to specify angle from this horizontal line. As this is 150, that means this will be 180 minus 150, that is 30 degree. Enter. And enter to stop the line command. Then create these circles 22.5 and 45 radius. Click here and select center radius. Give the center point, click the center point, give the radius of 22.5, enter. You can repeat the previous command by pressing enter. Enter, give the center point, give the radius of 45, enter. Then 90 and 60 radius. Again press enter, give the center point, radius of 90, enter, enter, specify center point, give the radius of 60, enter. Then 30 and 15. Again enter, give the center point, radius of 15, enter, enter, give the center point, give the radius of 30, enter. Then we need to create tangent lines. For that click on line command. Then to specify tangent object snap manually, press shift right click and click on this tangent and click. Again shift right click, tangent, click, enter. You can also select object snap automatically. For that click here and select tangent object snap. As we have seen in the previous tutorial, if quadrant and center is on, then it creates problem. So we will remove it from auto selection so that tangent can be clicked properly. Again click on line, click here. Now it is showing tangent object snap. Click, enter. To repeat the line command, press enter, click, click, enter, again enter, click, click, and enter. So this drawing is also ready. Let's start with first drawing. Now these drawings are in millimeter, therefore we will be using AutoCAD ISO template. Click on AutoCAD ISO. Now in this drawing, at first we will create one line of 450 length. Then we will place circles. Click on line, give the first point, take your cursor away, give the length of 450, enter, and enter. Then zoom this line. Then we will create these two circles of 22.5 and 45 radius. Click here on circle, center radius, give the center point, give the radius of 22.5, enter. You can repeat the last command by pressing enter. Press enter, give the center point, give the radius of 45, enter. Then next is these two circles of 110 and 60. Press enter. Now these circles are at the midpoint of this line. Now it is not showing the midpoint. To make it show the midpoint, click here and click on midpoint. Click inside. Now take your cursor to the midpoint. Click there, give the radius of 110 and enter. Again enter. take the center point, give the radius of 60, enter. The next is 15 and 30 radius, enter, give the center point, 15, enter, enter, center point, 30, enter. Then we want to create tangent lines, click on line, then press shift, right click and select tangent, click on the circle, again press shift, right click, click on the tangent, click on the circle, press enter. Enter. Then we can also choose tangent automatically. For that, click on tangent and cancel this center. Otherwise, it will show center in place of tangent. Click on the circle, this circle, enter, enter, this circle, enter, again enter, click on this circle and this circle and press enter. Then we don't want these arcs. For that, we will use trim command. Before that, we don't want this line. We will erase it. Give E, enter, select this line, enter. Then click on trim. Define all object as a cutting edges. Press enter. Then click on the object you want to remove and press enter. So this object is ready. Then next is this object. To start new drawing, click on this plus sign here. At first we will create this rectangle of 500 by 150 size. Click on line, give the first point, take your cursor away, give the length of 500, enter. Then zoom the line, take your cursor above, give the length of 150, enter. Then the length of this line is same as this line. Take your cursor to this point, don't click there and take the cursor away, then click, enter, pan it, zoom it. Then we will locate these lines by offsetting this line. At first we will offset at 50 and 90. Click on offset. To create offset at variable distance, click on this through option. Then select the object, take your cursor away, give the length of 50, enter. Again select this line, take your cursor away, give the length of 90, enter. Then 100, 60 and 90. Click on this line, give the length of 100, enter. Click on this line, take it away, give the length of 60, enter. Again click on this line, give the length of 90, enter. So all the vertical offsets has been created. Then horizontal offsets. Now it is at 55, then it is at 75 from bottom. Click on this line, take your cursor below, give the length of 55, enter. Select this line, take your cursor above, give the length of 75, enter. Then 45 and 30. Select this line, take it above, give the distance of 45, enter. Select this line, take it above, give the distance of 30, enter. Now all the offsets are created. Press enter to stop the offset command. Now we will place the circles. Now this is circle of 50 and it is at the location of first line from this side and second line from the top, and radius is 50. Click on circle. So here is the first line and second line from the top. Give the center point, give the radius of 50, enter. Then again enter. Next circle is 40 and it is on the third line and first line from the top. So here is the third line and first line from the top and radius is 40, enter. And this radius 30 on the second line, enter. here 30, enter. Then this one on the third line from the top and second from this side, radius is 25, enter. Second, this is the point, click there, give the radius of 25, enter. Then remove the unwanted lines. For that, click on erase and select these 3 lines and these 4 lines and press enter. Then we need one more circle at this point of 30 radius. Click on circle, give the center point, give the radius of 30, enter. Now trim the unwanted portion, click on trim, press enter, and then select the object to be removed and enter. Then we don't want this line, give E, enter, select this line and enter. So this object is also ready. And next is this object. Again click on this plus sign for new drawing. Now here we will create this circle of 180 radius. Click on circle, give the center point, give the radius of 180, enter. Zoom it. Now here this horizontal line is at a gap of 90 from this quadrant point. Click on line, take your cursor to this quadrant. Now it is not showing the quadrant, it is showing tangent. So click here and cancel this tangent and turn on this quadrant and center. Then take your cursor to the quadrant point. Don't click there, take your cursor down. Give the gap of 90 and press enter. And create one horizontal line up to this intersection point. Click and enter. Then trim this portion. Click on trim, press enter and remove the unwanted objects. Press enter. Then next is to locate these points at a gap of 121.5 and 171. For this we will create one vertical line. Click on line, take your cursor to the quadrant. Don't click, take it above, then click and take it below and click. Press enter and click on offset. Then give the distance of 121.5. Enter, then select this line. Click on this side. Again select this object. Then give the gap of 171 and enter. Then we want this gap of 112.5 and 54. Click on this line, take your cursor above, give the gap of 112.5, enter. And select this line, take it above, give the gap of 45, enter. Then press enter. Then create the circles of 54 diameter and 45 radius. Click on circle, give the center point, give the radius of 45, enter. Then click on this arrow, click on center diameter, give the center point, give the diameter of 54, enter. Then zoom it. We want two vertical lines. Click on line, click on this quadrant, take your cursor below. Once it shows the intersection point, click there, enter, enter, click on quadrant, take your cursor below, click, enter. Then erase unwanted lines. For that give E, enter and remove these lines. Enter, then trim the unwanted portion. Click on trim, enter and click on the object to be removed. So this object is also ready. So in this drawing, at first we will create this baseline of 200 length and we will use a CAD ISO template because unit is in mm. Click here and select a CAD ISO. Then we will check the unit For unit type UN, enter. We are using insertion scale as millimeter, and our length type will be decimal, precision will be 4 digit. So we will not change anything. Click on OK. Click on line, specify first point, then make ortho on, and give the length of 200. Enter, enter. Then zoom here. Then we will create these two circles of 25 and 50 radius. Click on circle, give the center point, give the radius of 25, enter. Then to repeat the last command, press enter, give the center point, give the radius of 50, enter. Then we will create this fillet of 250 radius. Click on fillet and click on radius, give the radius of 250, enter. As we have to create two fillets, therefore we will choose multiple option. Click on multiple, then click on this circle and this circle. Again click on this circle and this circle. Press enter. Then we will remove unwanted objects. Click on trim and press enter and click on the objects to be removed and press enter. Then we will create this shape. Now this shape contains two square. This is the first square and this is the second square. The size of both the square is 20. We will create this square using polygon command. The 20 distance is between two parallel lines, therefore we will use circumscribed method of polygon. And as the distance is 20, that means from center to mid of this line will be 10. That means we will have to give radius of 10. Click on arrow near the rectangle and click on polygon. Then give number of sides as 4, enter, and give the center point for the polygon. Then click on circumscribed about circle, then specify radius of 10, enter. Then next is this inclined square. When we specify radius, it creates horizontal square, but in this case we want inclined square. To create this inclined square, we will create one inclined line of 10 length at 45 degree. Click on line, click on this endpoint, make ortho off, take your cursor away, give the length of 10, then press tab for angle, give the angle of 45 degree, enter, enter. Then click on polygon, then give number of edges, 4 is correct, we will press enter, then give the center point, click on circumscribed outward circle and click on this endpoint of the line. Then remove the unwanted objects. For that click on trim, enter, and click on the objects to be removed. Enter. Then erase this line. For erase type E, enter. Select this object and enter. Then next is this ellipse of 100 by 24 size. But when creating ellipse, we need to give the radius. Therefore, we will give radius of 50 and 12. And the location of ellipse is 112 from this line. So at first we will create this vertical line. Click on line. Take your cursor to this quadrant. Don't click there. Take your cursor away. It will track it. Then click. Make ortho on and click. Press enter. Then click on offset. Give the distance of 112. Enter. Select this line. Take your cursor on this side and click. And press enter. Then zoom there. Click on ellipse. Give the center point, take your cursor on this side, give the radius of 50, enter. Then give the radius of 12, enter. Then next is to create this shape. Now in this shape there are two hexagons. First one is this one and other is this one. The size of both the polygon is 60, and again the gap is given between two opposite parallel lines. Therefore again we will use circumscribe method, and we will have to give radius of 30, that is half of this. Click on polygon, give the number of sides as 6, enter. Then give the center point, then click on circumscribed about circle, then give radius of 30, enter. Then again second polygon needs to be inclined, so for that again we need to create one line up to the midpoint of this line. As we know, in the case of polygon, if we create one line here, the angle of that line will be 30°, and that means remaining will be 60, and half of that 60 will be 30. That means this total angle will be 60°, and length of the line is 30. Click on line, click on this endpoint, make ortho off, take your cursor away, give the length of 30, then press tab, give the angle of 60, enter, and enter. Click on polygon, then number of sides 6 is correct, press enter, then give the center point. Now actually I have given center point on the midpoint, but midpoint is not correct. Actually I have to give center point at the end point of this line. So I will press escape. Again I will give polygon, enter, then center point will be end of this line. Then click on circumscribed about circle and click on the end point of this line. Then erase this line, press E, enter, then select this line and press enter. Then trim unwanted objects, type TR, enter, then again enter to select all object as a cutting edges, and then click on the objects to be removed. This shape is also ready. Press enter, zoom minus, then we need to apply layers. For that at first we will change the color of zero layer. For that click here and click on this white square and select the color for this layer. I will choose this one for zero layer. Then I need to create center line. For that click on this layer properties, click on new layer, then give the name as center, click outside, choose the color. I will choose this one. Okay. Then click here on continuous, click on load, scroll it down, and here is center, click on it. Okay, click on center. Okay, then for 0 I want thickness of 0.3. Okay, then close it, then select these lines, click here and click on center, press escape, and we will also make this center layer current. Then I want to reduce the gap between center line. For that give LTS command, type LTS, press enter, and reduce the factor. Suppose I will give 0.25, enter. Then to adjust the size of the lines, click on the line, click on this blue box, take your cursor away and click. Again click on this blue box, take it away and click. Then I want to reduce the size of this center line. Click on this center line, click here, take your cursor below, zoom there and click. Ensure that line is straight. Now it is showing midpoint. I don't want midpoint. I will make ortho on so that line will be straight, and I will take my cursor away so that it will not take any object snap, and click. Same way for here, click, take it inside and click, press escape. Then I need vertical line here. For that, click on line, take your cursor to the quadrant, take your cursor away, click, take it below and click, and press escape. If you want to see the thickness, click here, so it will show the thickness. So this drawing is ready. Click on this plus for new drawing, or if this plus is not available, you can also click on this new drawing. Click on new drawing, then select AutoCAD ISO and click on open. Now we know that for AutoCAD ISO unit is always mm, so there is no need to check it. Now we will create next object, this one. Now in this, at first we will create this ellipse of 100 by 160 size. Click on ellipse, give the center point, take your cursor away, make ortho on. Now horizontal radius is 80, that is half of 160. Type 80, enter. Then vertical diameter is 100, that means radius will be 50. Enter. Zoom it. Then create a reference lines. Click on line, take your cursor to quadrant, track it, click, take it below and click. Press enter. Again press enter. Take to quadrant, track it and click. Enter. Then we will create this portion. Now the location of this line is 45 and location of this line is 60. Click on offset, then click on through, then click on this line, take your cursor on this side, give the distance of 45, enter. Then click on this line, take your cursor on this side, give the distance of 60, enter. Then press enter. At first we will create this triangle. Now this triangle is touching to this circle of diameter 20. For this we will use polygon command and circumscribe method. Click on polygon, then give number of sides as 3, enter, then give the center point. We will choose this intersection point, click, then click on circumscribed about circle, then give the radius of 10, enter. Then next is this octagon of 50 corner to corner distance. As the distance given is corner to corner, therefore we will use inscribe method. Click on polygon, then give number of sides as 8, enter, then give the center point of polygon, then click on inscribed in circle, then give the radius of 25, enter. Now actually we don't want this polygon like this, we want this point on this line. What we will do, we will rotate it. Click on rotate, select this object, enter, then give the base point, make ortho off, then take your cursor to this endpoint and click. So now this point is exactly on this vertical line. Then next is to create this pentagon. Now in this pentagon edge length is given, therefore we will use edge method. For edge method we will have to specify first endpoint of the edge, therefore we will need to locate this point. Now this point is at a location of 7.5 u from this vertical line, that is half of this 15, and 10 from this horizontal line. Click on offset, give the distance of 7.5, enter, and select this line, take your cursor on this side, click. and click on this line, take your cursor below, give the gap of 10, enter, then press enter. Zoom here, click on polygon, then enter number of sides 5, enter, then click on edge, then give first point here, take your cursor away, make ortho on, and give the length of 15, enter. Then erase unwanted line, type E, enter, and choose these lines, enter. Now this polygon is also ready. Then next is this shape. Now this shape is at a gap of 10 from every object. So we'll offset it, click on offset, give the gap of 10, enter, select this ellipse, click inside, select this polygon, click on this side, select this polygon, click on this side, press enter. Then trim the unwanted object. For that type TR, enter, then enter, and remove these corner pieces. Same way here and here. Yes, that's right. Then press enter, then erase the unwanted object, click on erase and select this object and this one. Press enter, okay. Then there is a fillet of 5 and 3. Click on fillet, click on radius, give the radius of 5, enter, click on multiple option and select this line, then select this ellipse. But here it is giving error, cannot fillet between these two entities. To fillet here we will have to explode this polyline. Press escape, click on explode and select these polygons. Press enter. Then again give fillet. Now radius of 5 is correct. Click on multiple, select this line, select this arc. Again same way here. Then again click on radius, give the radius of 3, enter, click on multiple, then choose this line and arc, press enter. Now this shape is ready. Then again we will give color to 0 layer, okay. Then we have already created center layer in drawing 1. If you want to use this layer in this drawing, then for that you will have to give DC command. Type DC for design center, enter, then click on this open drawings. Now here it is showing the open drawing. Now this is the drawing 1, click on layers, here is the center layer. Just select it, press first mouse button and drag it and release here and close this dialog box. Here is the center layer. Then select these lines and click on center, escape. Then we need one more layer that is hidden. For that click on layer properties, click on new layer, then type here hidden and choose the color. Suppose I want this one, okay. Then click here on continuous, click on load, scroll it down and here is hidden, okay. Select hidden, okay. Close this dialog box. Then hidden is these two polygons. Select this polygon, click here, click on hidden, press escape. Then reduce the gap. For that type LTS, enter, and I will give 0.25, enter. Then reduce the length of these lines, click on it, click on this blue box, take it below and click. Ensure that ortho is on and keep your cursor in empty space and click. Again same here, take it inside and click. Same way here, click on line, click on this blue box, take it inside and click and press escape. Actually the gap between this hidden line is very less, so I will choose different type of hidden line. For that, click on layer properties, click on hidden, load, scroll it down, and I want hidden with larger gap, so I will choose this 2x hidden. Okay, select this hidden x2, okay, and close. Now here gap is more. Then click on new drawing, then this drawing. Here at first we will create this horizontal line of 180 and inclined line of 170, and the angle is 120. As this angle is 120, that means angle from this x-axis will be 60. Click on line, give first point, make ortho on, give the length of 180, enter, zoom it, make ortho off, give the length of 170, press tab, give the angle of 60, enter, enter. Then here the width is 70 and this gap is 35. That means this will be also 35. Click on offset, give the gap of 35, enter, select this line, take your cursor above, click. Again select this line, take inside, click, take below, press enter. We will create lines, click on line, click on this endpoint to this endpoint, enter, enter, this endpoint to this endpoint, enter. Then there is fillet of radius 30. Click on fillet, click on radius, give the radius of 30, enter, click on multiple, select this line, this line, this line, this line, enter. Then there is chamfer of 20 by 20 size. Click on arrow near the fillet, click on chamfer, and click on distance, give the distance of 20, enter. Again second distance is 20, press enter, select this line. Before that, click on multiple, then select this line, and this line, and this line. Then again click on angle. This second chamfer is at 30 degree and the distance is also 30. So specify chamfer length is 30, enter, and angle is 30, enter. Then select this line as a first line so that it will create angle of 30. Click on this line and this line, this line and this line. Press enter. Then there is two circles of 20 diameter at a distance of 20. Click on circle, take your cursor to this end point, then drag that point and give the distance of 20, enter, specify radius of 10, enter. Same way here, press enter, take your cursor to this end point, don't click there, take it inside. For this you need to have your extension object snap on, otherwise it will not work. To make that extension object snap on, you will have to click on this arrow and click on this extension. Once it adds this tick, then extension object snap is on. Then drag that point, give the distance of 20, enter, give the radius of 10, enter. Then there is this ellipse of 120 by 25 radius. Click on ellipse, give the center point, take your cursor on this side, make ortho on, give the radius of 120, enter, and radius of 25, enter. Then this is a ellipse of 130 by 20. Click on ellipse, Give the center point. Now I need to create inclined ellipse. For that, make ortho off. Take your cursor on this side. Now it is again tracking. So just specify the radius of 130, enter, and radius of 20, enter. Then trim the unwanted objects. For that, type TR, enter, then select this both the ellipse, enter, and remove these objects, enter. And there is a fillet of 30 for this ellipse also. Click on fillet, click on this arrow, select fillet, then radius of fillet is already there. Click on multiple, select this arc and this arc, again this one and this one, press enter. Then next is to apply the layers. For that, type DC for design center, enter, and click here before the drawing tool, click on layers, select center, control hidden, then drag it and release it, press escape, and give color to zero layer. Suppose I will give this one, okay, and select this line and click on center, escape, and select these arcs, click here and select hidden, press escape. At first we will give these dimensions. Now in this drawing we have already created some layers. We will create one more layer for dimension. Click on layer properties, click on new layer, then name it as dim, then click here and change the color, okay, then line width I will make it 0.20, okay, then close this dialog box, then click on dimension, then click on this endpoint, click on this endpoint, then take your cursor above and click, then click on this endpoint, again on this endpoint take your cursor on this side. To force it to be vertical, make ortho on, then it will come vertical automatically. Click, then click on this endpoint, click on this endpoint, take your cursor outside, then take your cursor to this endpoint, take your cursor below, it will track that point, and click. Then click on this endpoint, click on this endpoint, take it outside and click and escape. Now these dimensions are very small. To increase the size, you will have to give dimension style. Keyboard shortcut for dimension style is D and enter. Then modify. Then we will increase the scale to 2. Okay, close. Now these dimensions are properly visible. Then next is this 20, 30 and 30. Click on dimension, click on this endpoint, then now here it is not showing center point of circle. To show the center point of circle, take your cursor on circle, then it will show the center point. Click there, take your cursor above and click, then click on this endpoint, take your cursor below and click. Then to give the angle, click on this line, click on this line, then take your cursor inside and click. Then next is these dimensions. Click on this line, take your cursor below and click. Then click on this arc. Don't take your cursor on any object snap, otherwise it will not select that object. Zoom there. Then take your cursor in this portion, take your cursor below and click. Then radius on this side, click on this, take your cursor above and click. Then angle between these two lines, Click on this line, click on this line, take your cursor inside and click. Then click on this inclined line. Now it is not showing align dimension. To show the align dimension, you will have to make ortho off. Then give the position. So all these dimensions has been given. And next is this one, 2 holes dia 20. Click on the circle, take your cursor outside and click. Then press escape. Then double click on this dia 20. Then type 2 holes. Then dia 20 is already there. Click outside. Then press escape. Then to make it horizontal, you will have to update settings in dimension style. Type D, enter for dimension style. Click on modify, click on text and click on this ISO standard so that these outside dimensions will become horizontal. Click on OK, click on close. Then to shift it above, click on this dimension, then click on this blue grip, then give the desired location. Click escape. Then next is this dimension using leader. Click on leader. Then to catch this point, press shift and right click and click on nearest. Then click, take your cursor above and click and type R120, and for multiplication sign type X, R25. Click outside. Then same way on this ellipse, and it is ellipse R130, R20. What we can do, we can copy this leader here. Click on copy. Select this leader, enter, then base point will be this end point. Then again press shift and right click and select nearest and click on this ellipse and escape. Then dimension for this ellipse is 130 and 20. Double click, make here 130 and here 20. Click outside. Now the size of dimension text for leader is smaller than our dimension style. So for that, click on annotation, click on multi-leader style, click on modify. Then here make this text height to be 2.5 and in leader format make this arrow size to be 2.5 and in leader structure specify the scale of 2. Okay, close. Now these dimensions are matching. Then to change the layers of all the dimensions, select all the dimension, then click here and click on dim, press escape. Now this drawing is in mm, therefore we will use AutoCAD ISO template. Scroll down and select AutoCAD ISO.dwt. Then I will just show you what is my unit setting. Type UN for units, enter. Here I will be using length type as decimal, precision is 4 digit, angle type is decimal degrees, precision is 0 digits, and insertion scale is millimeter. So I will not make any changes. Click on OK. Now in this drawing, at first we will create these circles of 25, 30, 70, 20 and 40 diameters. Now we have to use circle commands multiple times. Therefore, to repeat it automatically, you can use multiple command. For multiple, type MU, enter. Then here you will have to enter command name to repeat. So I want to repeat circle. So for circle I will type C. Then press enter. Then specify center point for circle. then click on diameter, then give diameter of 70, enter. Then zoom this circle, then again specify center. Now it is not showing center point of circle. To show the center point, you will have to take your cursor on the circle, then only it will show the center point. Then click on the center point, then click on diameter, then specify the diameter of 25, enter. Then again specify center point, diameter. Then this second circle is actually the circle for this chamfer. That means the diameter of this second circle will be 70 minus 4. One chamfer on this side and one chamfer on this side. That means it will be 66. Give the diameter of 66, enter. Then again specify center point, click on diameter, then 30, 20 and 40. Give the diameter of 20, enter. Give the center point, diameter, give the diameter of 30, enter. Again center point, diameter, give the diameter of 40, enter. We will just pan it. So all the circles has been created. Then next is to create this section view. At first we will create this line. Now length of this line will be 70 minus 15, that is 55. Pan it. Take your cursor to the center and take it away so it will track it. For tracking to work, you will need to have this object snap tracking on, and this object snap also need to be on, then only it will work properly. Then take your cursor here, click there. Okay, the circle command is still running, so to cancel the circle command you will have to press escape. Then we want to create a line, click on line, then take your cursor to the center, take it away, then click here. Then for straight line make ortho on, then length of this line will be the radius of this circle, so take your cursor to this quadrant point and take it away, so it will track that point. Click there, then take your cursor on this side, then give the length of 55, enter. Then take your cursor to this circle's quadrant and take it away, so it will track it. Click there, take your cursor on this side, give the length of 15, enter. Then take your cursor below to this endpoint and track it and click and press enter. Then enter. Then take your cursor to this internal circle, then take your cursor to this, actually it is showing the midpoint. Now midpoint is also correct because internal circle diameter is 20, that means this distance will be 10, and this is 40, that means this distance will be 20. So this point will be at the midpoint of this vertical line. Then length of this line will be 70 minus 35, that is 35. So click on this midpoint, take your cursor away, give the length of 35, enter. Then take your cursor to the second circle and track it and click. Then take your cursor on this side, give the length of 30, enter. Then take your cursor to this third circle and take it away. Now it is tracking it, click there. Now it is taking the midpoint object snap. I don't want midpoint. Take your cursor to midpoint and take it below. So it will track that point and click. So it will create horizontal line. Then press enter. So here internal layout is also ready. We will just extend these lines. For that we will create this horizontal line. Click on line, then take your cursor to this quadrant and take it outside and click. Then click here, enter, enter. Then take your cursor to this endpoint and take it outside, click, then click, press enter, then zoom it. Then to extend, take your cursor to this arrow near the trim and click on extend. Then press enter. Then click on these lines on lower side. Then press enter. Then here we need chamfer of 2 size. For that, click on this arrow and click on chamfer. Then click on distance and specify first chamfer distance as 2. Enter. And second chamfer distance will also be 2. Just press enter to accept the default value. Then we want to chamfer multiple times. Therefore, click on this multiple option. Then select this line, this line, this line, this line, this line, and this line, and press enter. Then here is a fillet of radius 5. For that, click here and select fillet. Click on radius, give the radius of 5, enter, and select this line, select this line. Then we want same on the opposite side, we will mirror it. For that, click on mirror, then select all this object. For that, we will use crossing window. Click on the right side in empty space and take your cursor on the left side. Then click, enter. Then first point of mirror line will be this end point. Click there, take your cursor on this right side and click. And erase source object, no. So this object is ready. Then we need to create hatch. For that, click on hatch. Then select NC31 as a pattern. Then click inside this shape. Then reduce the scale. We'll choose 0.5. Enter. Then here hatch direction is opposite. For that, we will change the angle to 90. Press enter and click on close hatch creation. So this hatch is also created. Then next is to apply the layers. For that, click on layers. Then at first we'll give some color to 0 layer. Click on white and suppose I will choose this one. Okay. Then I will change line weight to suppose this 0.35. Okay. Then to create new layer, click on new layer. Then we will name it as hidden. Then click on this color, choose some color. Okay. Then click on continuous, click on load, then scroll it down and click on hidden 2. Okay. Select hidden 2. Okay. Then I don't want line weight. Click here and choose default. Okay. Then again click on new layer and we will name it as center. Then choose color. Suppose I want this one. Okay. Then click on hidden 2. Click on load. Scroll it down and we will choose this center 2. Okay. Click on center 2. Okay. Then we will create one more layer for hatch. Type hatch. Then choose the color. Suppose I will choose this one. Okay. Then here I want continuous line. Click here and click on continuous. Okay. Then close this dialog box. Then choose these lines. Click here and select center. Press escape. Then choose these two circles. Click here and click on hidden. Press escape. Then select this hatch. Click on properties. Click here and click on hatch. And click. Then I want one vertical center line. For that, make center layer current. Click on line. Take your cursor to quadrant. Take it away. Click. Take it below and click and escape. To watch the thickness, click here on show headline width. So it will show the thickness. So in this way this drawing is ready. At first we will import the dimension layer from 5.2. For that type DC, enter. Then click on this plus before the 5.2, click on layers, and here is the dim layer. Click it, then press and hold first mouse button, drag it and release it in this current drawing. Then close this dialog box. Now here is the dim layer. Then by clicking on this box, you can change the color. Suppose I want this one. Okay. Then make dim layer current. Then at first we will give these 3 dimensions. Click on dimension, click on this endpoint, zoom there, click on this endpoint, take your cursor below and click. Then click on this endpoint and click on this endpoint. Then take your cursor below and click. Then click on this arc and click. Then next is this length. Click on this line, take your cursor above and click. Then click on this line, click on this endpoint. Then this 2x2 chamfer. For that we will have to use leader. Press escape. Click on leader. Click on this midpoint. Take your cursor above. To make this line inclined, make this ortho off. Then click. Zoom minus. Click. Then type there 2x2. Enter. Then bracket. Typical. Closing bracket. Click outside. Now the size of this leader is larger. To reduce the size, click on annotation, click on multi-leader style, click on modify, then click on leader format, then change the size of this arrowhead to 2.5. We are giving here 2.5 because in ISO the size of arrowhead is 2.5 and size of text is also 2.5. That means we are matching these values with the values given in dimension style. Okay, close. Now the size is matching. Then next is this vertical dimensions. For that click on dimension, then click on this endpoint, click on this endpoint, take your cursor outside and click. Again click on this endpoint, click on this endpoint and click. Then these dimensions, click on this endpoint, click on this endpoint, take your cursor outside and click, and click on this endpoint, click on this endpoint, take your cursor outside and click. Then on this endpoint and this endpoint, take it outside and click and escape. Now for this vertical dimensions, diameter symbol is given. To add this diameter symbol, type D for dimension style, enter. Then we will have to create one copy of this ISO 25 dimension style. For that click on new, then remove this, then name it as dia and continue. Then click on primary units and in this prefix type %C. Then OK, then close. Then select these dimensions, then click here on annotation, click here and select this dimension style ISO 25 dia and escape. In this way you can add diameter symbol. So this drawing is also ready. Then next is this one. To start new drawing, you can click here on the plus sign, or if you don't have this plus sign, click on new and choose AutoCAD ISO and open. So in this drawing, at first we will create this line of 30 length and 145 length. Click on line, click first point, make ortho on, take your cursor away, give the length of 30 enter, then give the length of 145, enter and enter. Then zoom it. Then here we will create circle of 12, then 22 and 10. Then again we want to use circle multiple times. Therefore we will use multiple command. Enter, then type C for circle, enter and give the center point, give the radius of 12, enter. Then take your cursor here on the end point, click there, give the radius of 22, enter. Then take your cursor on this end point, click there, give the radius of 10, enter. Then to cancel multiple command, press escape. Then this arc of radius 62. So this arc is touching these two circles. Therefore we will use 10 radius option. Click on this arrow, select 10 radius, then specify one point on this side and other point on this side. Then give the radius of 62, enter. Then we need to create these lines. So these lines are actually passing through this point. So click on line, click on this end point, then press shift and right click and select tangent and click on this circle, enter. Then here we want fillet of 15 radius. Click on fillet, click on radius, give the radius of 15, enter and select this circle and this line. Then we will have to trim unwanted objects. Before that, click on this line, click on this blue grip, then take it outside and click. Then click on this line, click on this blue grip, take it outside and click and press escape. Then click on trim, click on this arrow and select trim. Then press enter and remove the unwanted objects and press enter. Then we need same shape on the opposite side. For that, click on mirror, then select this shape, enter. Then this endpoint will be the first point of mirror line. Click there, take your cursor on the right side and click on no. Then to apply the layers and colors, at first what we will do, we will join this line to create single line. Click on modify, click on join and select these two lines, enter, escape. Then we want this line to be center line. For that we will use the layer we have created in drawing 1. To use that layer, type DC for design center, enter, then click on open drawings, then click on layers, layer in the drawing 1, then select the center, just click and hold and drag it and release and close this dialog box. Then select this line, click here, click on center, press escape. Then click here, click on this white box and choose color. This drawing is also ready. Then next is this one. Now this drawing is in inches. So we will be using AutoCAD.dwt as template. Click on new. Then select AutoCAD.dwt, open. To check the units, type UN, enter. So here all the settings are same. Only insertion scale is changed to inches. Click on OK. Now in this drawing, at first we will create this vertical line of 24 length. Click on line, click first point, make ortho on, take your cursor below, give the length of 24, enter, enter. Then zoom minus, pan it above. Then to shift this UCS icon, type UCS icon, press enter and click on no origin. Then we will create these circles of 8, 12.5, 4 and 7.5 diameters. For that again type multiple, MU, enter, type C for circle, enter, then give the center point, pan it above, click on diameter, give the diameter of 12.5, enter. Then click on the center point, give the radius of 4, that is 8 diameter, enter. Then click on this end point, then give the radius of 2, enter. Then again click on this end point, click on diameter, give the diameter of 7.5, enter. Then press escape. Then to create these lines, we need to create these lines. Now this line is at angle of 150 and this line is also at angle of 150. Click on line, zoom there, take your cursor to this end point, make ortho off. Then the length will be radius of this circle. So type 3.75, then press tab to specify the angle. As this total angle is 150, that means this angle will be 150 minus this 90, that is 60. So give here angle of 60, enter and enter. Then same way we need to create line below. What we can do, we can also mirror this line. Click on mirror, select this line, enter. Then first point of mirror line will be the midpoint of this line. Click there, take your cursor on the right side, ensure that this line is straight, click and click on no. Then we need to extend it up to this circle. For that click here and select extend, press enter, click on this line and again click on this line, press enter. So reference lines are ready. Then click on line, click on this end point and this end point and press enter. Then there is fillet top. Now here I forgot to specify the fillet, but the fillet is 4 inches. So click on fillet, click on radius, give the fillet of 4, enter, click on multiple, click on this line, click on this circle. Again click on this line, click on this circle. Press enter. Then we want same on the opposite side. For that click on mirror, select all these objects, press enter. Then first point of mirror line will be this end point. Click there, make ortho on, take your cursor below and click on no. So this view is ready. Then next is to create this section view. Now this width is 2 inch and this is 3 inches. Zoom here, click on line, take your cursor to this quadrant point, take it away and click. Then take it on the right side, give the width of 3, enter. Then take your cursor to this quadrant, take it away, click. Then this is 2, this is 3, that means this gap will be 3 minus 2 divided by 2, that is 0.5. So take it on this side, give the gap of 0.5, enter, zoom minus, then take your cursor to this quadrant, take it away, click, again give the length of 0.5, enter, take your cursor on this quadrant, hold for some time, take it away, click, then take on this side, give the width of 3, enter, enter. Then press enter, take your cursor to this midpoint, take it outside, click, take it below and click and enter. Then we will mirror these objects, click on mirror, select these objects using crossing window, enter. First point of mirror line will be this end point, take your cursor below, click, and click on no. Then internal lines, for that again click on line, take your cursor to this quadrant, then click here, then take your cursor to this endpoint so that we can track it, take it below and click, then press enter, enter, take your cursor to this quadrant, click, take your cursor to this endpoint, take it above, click, enter, enter. Same procedure needs to be repeated here. Take your cursor to this endpoint, take it below, click, enter, enter. Then drag this quadrant, click, drag this endpoint, click, enter. Then next is to create the hatch. For that click on hatch and click inside these shapes. Then increase the scale to suppose 3, enter, or we will need little bit more, we will make it 5, enter, or we will make it 4. Okay, and the hatch direction is same. Then click on close hatch creation. Then to apply the layer type DC. For design center press enter, then click on layers. For multiple selection press Ctrl and select center, hatch and hidden. Then release the control, press first mouse button and drag it and release here. Then close this dialog box, then select these lines, click here and make them center, escape. Then select these lines and click here and select hidden and escape. Then the hidden line and center line is not properly visible. For that we will have to reduce the line type scale. Type LTS, enter, and we will give zero point 0.1 as a scale factor, press enter. Now zero point 0.1 seems to be very small, we will increase it, type LTS, make it 0.3, enter and escape. Then click on this line, click on this blue grip, take it above and click. Same way here, click on blue grip, take it below and click and press escape. Then we need some more center lines, click on line, take your cursor to this quadrant, take it outside, click, click, enter, make center layer current, click on line, then take your cursor to this midpoint, take it outside, click, click, enter, and same way below, enter, take your cursor to quadrant, take it outside, click, take on right side, click, enter, enter, then drag this endpoint, click, click, enter. For these white lines we will give some color, click on this box here, suppose we will choose this one. Okay, then select hatch, click here on properties, click here and click on hatch, press escape. Now these center lines are not properly visible. To change the line type scale of these two center lines, type PR. For properties press enter, then select these two center lines and we will reduce the scale factor. Suppose we will make it 0.5, then press escape. Now those are visible, then select this line, click here and make it center, press escape, then close this dialog box. Then we need these reference lines. For that we will just create these lines, make hidden layer current, click on line, click on this endpoint and this endpoint, enter, same way below, enter, this endpoint and this endpoint, enter. Then we will mirror it, click on mirror, select this line, enter, and select this quadrant as a first point, take your cursor below, click, enter. So this drawing is also ready. If you are interested in previous set of tutorials, then link to complete playlist is given in the description. Click here, then scroll down and select AutoCAD ISO.dwt. Then type UN for units, press enter. Here my length type is decimal, precision is 4 digits, and angle type is decimal degrees, precision is 0, and insertion scale is millimeter. So I will be using all the default setting. I am not making any changes to it. Click on OK. Then in switches I have this object snap tracking on, then object snap is also on, and if you click on this arrow I have activated endpoint, midpoint, center, node, quadrant, intersection and extension object snaps. Then this grid is also on. Then in polar tracking, click on this arrow. I have selected this 30, 60, 90, 120 angles. Click outside. So these are my settings with which I will be working, and these settings will be same for all the drawings. Now in this drawing we will start creating circles. At first we will create this internal circle of 20 diameter, then this second circle of 30 diameter, then this third circle of 40 diameter, and this fifth circle of 50 diameter, that is 20, 30, 40, 50 diameters. Click here on the arrow below the circle, select center diameter option, specify center point, then specify diameter of 20, enter, then zoom there. Circle is not shown properly. To show it properly you will have to type RE for region, enter. So it will regenerate that drawing. Then again click on center diameter, specify center point. Now here it is not showing center point. To show the center point you will have to take your cursor on the circle, then it will show the center point. Click there, then give diameter of 30, enter. You can also repeat the command by pressing enter. Press enter, then specify center point, then click on diameter, specify diameter of 40, enter, then again enter, specify center point, click on diameter, give the diameter of 50, enter. So all these 4 internal circles has been created. Then from these 4 circles, these 2 circles have center line type. For that we will create one center layer. Click on layer properties, click on new layer, then name it as center, click outside, then change the color, OK, then click on continuous, click on load, then click inside this box and type C for center. So here 3 types of center lines are there. I will choose this smaller one, that is the center 2. OK, again select this center 2. OK, then close this dialog box, then select this circle and this circle, then click here and click on center, press escape. Then to reduce the gap between this center line, type LTS, then press enter and reduce the scale factor. Suppose I will make it 0.25, enter. Then next is to create these small circles of dia 5 and dia 3. Again click on center diameter, then click on this quadrant point, then specify diameter of 3, enter, enter, click on the center point or quadrant, click on diameter, specify diameter of 5, enter. Then we will need center line for this circle. For that click here and make center layer current. Then click on line. Then take your cursor to this quadrant and take it away. So it will track that point. Click there. Then make ortho on. For straight line, take your cursor below and click and press escape. Then we want these circles to be 14 numbers. For that we will array these circles. Click here on the arrow near the rectangular array, then click on polar array. Then select these objects, enter, then specify center point of array. This will be the center point of array. Click there. We want quantity to be 14. So click here and specify 14 and press enter. Then click on close array. Then we want these circles to be on 0 layer. For that select this array. Click on home. Click here and click on 0 and press escape. Next is to create one portion so that we can again array it. Now to create this portion we will need one more circle of radius 50. Click on this arrow, click on center radius, click on the center point, then specify radius of 50, enter. Then select this circle, click here and transfer it on 0 layer, press escape, click here and make 0 layer current. Then next is we will create this circle. Now gap between these two lines is 8, that is diameter of this circle is 8. Then we will create these horizontal lines. Again click on circle, then click on this quadrant point, then take your cursor away, specify radius of 4, enter. Then click on line, then click on this quadrant, take your cursor on this side and click, enter, enter. Again click on this quadrant, take your cursor on this side and click and press enter. Then remove the unwanted objects. For that type TR. For trim, enter, enter and click on the objects to be removed, enter. Then we want this same shape at 30-degree angle from this vertical line. That means from this line this angle will be 60 degree. That is 90 minus this 30, that will be 60. So before that we will create these center lines also. Click here and click on center, click on line, zoom minus, take your cursor on this quadrant, don't click there, take your cursor away and click, then take your cursor below and click, enter, enter, take your cursor on this midpoint, take your cursor away, click, take your cursor on this side and click, press enter. Then we want this shape at an angle of 60 degree. For that we will rotate this shape and copy it. Click on rotate, then select this object, enter, then specify base point. Base point will be this intersection point. Click there. We want to create copy. Click on copy, then take your cursor above and specify rotation angle. We want rotation angle of 60 degree. So type there 60, enter. So here this portion is ready. Then trim unwanted portions, type TR, enter, enter and remove these objects. Enter, then remove unwanted objects, type E, enter and select these objects, enter. Then we will array this shape. Then we want this shape to be 6 times. Click on polar array, then select this object, then press enter. Then specify center point of array, that will be this intersection point. Click there, and here this shape is ready. Then click on close array. Then select this object, click on home, and click here and select 0 and press escape. Then we don't want this line. For that, again we can use trim. Type tr, enter, enter, and click enter. Then remove this line, type e, enter, select this line, enter. Then next will be to create this arc of 25 radius. For this arc, this distance of 5 has been given from this line, and it will be same from this line also. Now we have already created array. To make changes to this atom, we will have to edit the array. For that, click on any one atom, then click on edit source. Then select atom in array, click on this atom, click on OK, then click on offset, specify offset distance of 5, enter, then select this line, take your cursor above and click. Then again select this line, take your cursor on this side and click and press escape. Now we want arc of 25 passing through this point and this point. Click here. We will use this option start end radius. Click on start end radius. Then specify this point as a start point. Then this point as an end point. Then take your cursor on this side and specify radius of 25. Enter. Then remove these lines. Type E, enter, select these lines, enter. Then trim this portion, type TR, enter, enter, and click and enter. Then take your cursor to edit array and click on save changes, and here this object is ready. Then we will save this object. Click on save, then type file name and save. And if you want to learn how to give dimensions to this drawing, then link to that tutorial is given in the description. Then we want to use settings from this drawing for our next drawing. So what we will do, we will create copy of this drawing. For that, click on save as, then we will name it as to save. Then we will remove this object. For that, type E, enter, select this object, enter. Then next is this one. So at first we will create circles of 20 radius and 45 radius. Click on circle, specify center point, give radius of 20, enter, enter, specify center point, give radius of 45, enter. Then next is this circle of radius 70 and 93. Enter, specify center point, radius of 70, enter, enter, specify center point, radius of 93, enter, zoom minus. Then again we want this circle to be center line format. For that, select this third circle, click here, click on center, press escape. Then we want to increase gap between these lines. For that, type LTS, enter, and increase the scale to 1, enter, zoom minus. Then we will create this circle of radius 10 and create array of 3 atoms. Click on circle, specify center point at this quadrant point, then specify radius of 10, enter. Then we will array this circle, click on polar array, select this circle, enter, specify center point of array, click here, then change number of items to 3, enter, take your cursor below and click on close array. Then to create this center line, at first click here and select center layer, then click on line, then click on the center point and the center point, press enter. Then we will extend this line. For that, click here and select extend, press enter and click on this line, press enter. Then we will break unwanted part. For that, click on modify, click on break, click here, take your cursor outside and click, press enter, click here, take your cursor outside and click. Then we will mirror this line, click on mirror, select this line, enter, specify this center point as first point of mirror line, take your cursor away and click and press enter. Then we will create this profile. Now for this profile, this height is 22, then this angle is 10 degree. At first we will create this line, click on line, then specify first point, make ortho off, take your cursor here, then specify length, we will assume it to be 130, then press tab for angle. Now from this vertical line we want angle of 10, that means from this horizontal line the angle will be 80 degree. Type 80, enter, enter. Then we want height of 22 from this quadrant. Click here and select 0 layer, click on line, click on this quadrant, take your cursor above and type 22, enter. Then take your cursor on this side, make ortho on and click, press enter. Then this length is 5 and we want to create this line at the angle of 23 from this inclined line. While creating the line, we will have to specify angle from this horizontal line. That means we will have to specify this complete angle. Now this angle is 10, and if we create here vertical line, then this angle will also be 10. This vertical line angle is 90 degree, plus this 10 is 100, plus this 23 is 123. Again click on line, click on this intersection point, take your cursor on this side, specify length of 5, enter, then make ortho off, take your cursor on this side, specify length of 40, tab, specify angle of 123, enter, enter. Then remove these lines, type E, enter, select these lines, enter. Then trim unwanted portion, type TR, enter, enter, and remove these objects, enter. Then create one line here, click on line, click on this end point and this end point, press enter. So this profile is ready. Then we will array this profile with 26 numbers. Click on polar array, select this object, enter, specify center point of array. I will click here on this endpoint, then click here and specify 26, enter. To update array below, take your cursor below. Then click on close array. Then trim unwanted portion, type TR, enter, enter, and click, enter. Then remove this circle, type E, enter, select this circle, enter. Then again we will array this line. Click on polar array, select this line or arc, actually it is arc, enter. Then specify center point of array. I will click on this end point. Then click here and type 26, enter. Take your cursor below and click on this close array. Then to finalize, we will create these center lines. Click here, click on center, click on line, take your cursor to this quadrant point and take it away, and click make ortho on and click. Press enter, enter, take your cursor to this quadrant, take it above, click, take it below, click, enter. Then for dimensioning, you can watch my other tutorial. Link is given in the description. Then this object is also ready. Then we will save it. Click on save. Then again we will make copy using save as. Click on save as. Then we will make it 3 and save. Then remove this object. Enter, select object, enter. Then next is this one. Again we will start with creating circles. Now here first circle is of radius 8, then second is radius 15, and third is radius 21. Click on circle, specify center point, give radius of 8, enter. Then click here and make 0 layer current. Select this circle, click here and click on 0. Escape. Then click on circle, specify center point, specify radius of 15, enter, enter, specify center point, specify radius of 21, enter. Then we want this circle to be center, select this circle, click here, click on center, press escape. Then next is this circle of 80 radius. Press enter, specify center point, specify radius of 80, enter. Then at first we will create this profile. Now this arc is drawn from this center point. This center point is at a distance of 40. So we will create one line and offset it. Or we can create one vertical line of 40 length. Click on line, click on the center point, take your cursor below and type 40, enter, enter. Then we will create one circle of radius 35. Click on circle, click on this end point, specify radius of 35, enter. Next is this circle of radius 50. Now this circle is created tangent to this circle of 35 and this circle of 21. Click here, click on tangent radius, click on this circle, specify radius of 50, enter. Then remove unwanted portion, type TR, enter, enter, and click on the objects to be removed. Enter, type E, enter, select this arc, enter. Now this curve is ready. Then gap between these two curves is 15. We will offset this curve. Before that we will join it. Click on modify, click on join and select this both the curves. Enter. Then click on offset. Then specify offset distance of 15. Enter. Select this curve. Take your cursor below and click. Press enter. Then we will extend it and trim it. Type TR, enter, enter, click. Then press shift for extend and click and enter. These both curves are ready. Then there are 5 atoms. That means angle between these two atoms will be 360 divided by 5, that is 72. So we will copy this object at an angle of 72. Click on rotate. Then select these objects, enter, then specify this endpoint as base point. Then we want to create copy, click on copy, then specify rotation angle of 72, enter. Then we don't want these curves, so we will remove them, type E, enter, and remove these curves, enter. Then we will finalize this shape. Now here radius is 7 and below radius is 3. Again click on 10 radius, then click on this curve and this circle and specify radius of 7, enter, then enter, click on 10 radius, click on this circle, enter, then enter, click on 10 radius, click on this circle, radius of 3, enter, click on 10 radius, click on this circle, and radius of 3 is there, press enter. Then remove unwanted objects, type TR, enter, and click on the objects to be removed. Then this one and this one. So this shape is ready. Remove these also, then press enter. Then here I want continuous line. For that I will break it, click on modify, click on break, select this object, take your cursor above and click. Then same way on this side, press enter, click on this object, take your cursor above and click. Then trim and finalize this shape, TR, enter, and trim, enter. Then select this arc, click here, click on 0, press escape. So this is finalized. Then we want 5 copies. For that click on polar array, then select these curves, press enter, then specify center point of array. I will click on the center point or end point, then click here and change number of items to 5, enter. Take your cursor below, then click on close array. Then next is to create these circles of 90 and 85 radius. Click on circle. Now here 10 radius is current circle, we don't want that. Click on this arrow, click on center radius, click on this endpoint, specify radius of 85, enter, again click on this endpoint, specify radius of 90, enter. Then this center lines, click here and make center layer current, click on line, then take your cursor to this quadrant, take it above, click, take it below, click, enter, then enter, take your cursor to this quadrant, take it away, click and click, enter. Then remove this white line, type E, enter, click, enter. So this object is also ready. In the next tutorial we will learn next set of commands, and we will also continue our tutorials on floor plan, elevation, cross section, then tutorials for electrical engineers. That's all. Thanks for watching. We will stop here.